Milo has decided to hibernate before entering the gate, but afterwards he gets woken up by a strange and alluring music. He waits for the gate to open and enjoys this strange change of pace. Out of the gate, you are surprised at how shady it is compared to the shoreline. With hopping on these round-shaped stones, you manage to grab a few blue fruits and eat them before heading forth this long corridor with a full belly. In between two stone spheres, you find a pearl to take with you. And the observer also shows you something, but you do not mind him any second glance. Out of the tunnel, you see broken bridges. And right at the edge, you see a vision of a slughead slipping at the edge. You have to balance carefully here, to not fall into your demise alike. While you balance on a strut to close the distance to another part of the bridge, right next to you a vision opens up and shows you another slughead falling. The light around here is difficult on your vision, and sometimes you cannot discern which ground you can stand on and which one is dangerous to traverse on. But you manage to reach the other side of this broken bridge structure. You cannot see very well, but you are sure something moved in the shadows. Better keep the high ground for safety measure, and also it might be a good idea to take the tunnel up top as well. Entering the tunnel, you cannot see anything in this pitch black darkness. Any form of light gets absorbed, and it is as if you are entering the shadows themselves. But with time, your eyes adjust to this minimal light, and you start to see vague shapes. Even the texture can be discerned now. Milo didn't know he had this ability. Maybe it is really just because it was pitch black otherwise, and one could not differentiate from shade to black. This will help tremendously. On the other hand, now you start to see what is hiding in this darkness. Little spiders and critters roam around and creepy crawl their way all over this place. On their own, they seem to be not too bad. Carefully, you start to make your way through this hall. Sometimes the observer blinks up and tries to show you the way to the next shelter, but it is not easy to follow his instructions if you are not able to see exactly what he means. Suddenly, a light appears. You look at it in astonishment. What is it? It hangs down its tail like a lantern, and it watches you curiously from above, but is very careful not to come too near to you. You try to jump to it and greet it, but it pulls back, so you have no chance of reaching it with your abilities right now. It seems a bit scared of you. Considering this dark environment, you can relate to it, but you do not glow as strongly as this little creature does. Near the left side, you find a pole in the darkness that you can actually climb up to the top. But before you go in, you notice something else on the left side and go there to collect it, after which you jump to the pole again and ascend. You notice the glowing creature fell down and immediately ran away in fear. In the next room, you see more of these lantern-like rodents. Lantern mice would be a nice name for them, Milo thinks. You explore a bit on the upper side and then return downwards, where one of the lantern mice is trying to hide in a crevice next to one of the round stone structures. You startle it when you suddenly stand next to it, but in panic it does not know where to go to. You are surprised, but you leave it be. You find a shelter in this darkness. Will it make a difference if you close your eyes or not this time? You huddle down and hibernate. You grab your spear, but you leave the pearl this time. Milo thinks this time the pearl will not have as much value around here. Soon he will realize that he was mistaken about this. You roll out the shelter and take the next tunnel downwards. It becomes even darker here and your eyesight reaches its limits of cognition. But you can faintly make out some tunnels and you head for the one on the left side. Here you can see slightly more, since there are some glowing symbols illuminating this area very slightly, but even this dim light helps a lot to find your way around. At the end of this hall you spot the sleeping lantern mouse. You are not proud of what you are about to do, but you came to the conclusion that you really need a light source around here. One quick throw was enough to end it quickly. You find something underneath you. It seems there's some slime mold and it does not look poisonous. You try it and it actually helps you fill your belly. After this you try again to pull the lantern mouse, but the tail seems to be very stuck and the light slowly fades away as well. A scavenger notices your odd behavior and throws an explosive spear in your direction. It stuns you for a moment. They are very wary of you, as it does not look nice how you try to handle this lantern mouse corpse. As the light of this mouse slowly fades even more, you understand what you have done, and you are ashamed. You try to look if you could handle the next spot without light, but it does not look like you can, so you return there for a moment. More scavengers arrive, and one even has a glowing stone. That is how they orient themselves around here. This would be very useful to have to make progress. The scavengers see the greed in your eyes and are very careful around you. You do not seem like good company to this here tribe, even though your reputation in other areas is far better. You think you might reach something valuable when you jump the platforms in this hall, but try after try you fail again and again. Meanwhile, the scavengers are hopping around and gesturing not to come too near to them. They stalk you as if you are a culprit that is about to do something bad. Though, you just ignore them and try to get on those platforms again and again. But in this darkness you just can't get to the right spot to hold on to, since it is difficult enough to see anything. At some point, you give up and go to the dead lantern mouse again. Right when another one came out, you grab it and it tries to flee, but you have found an involuntary new friend. So with your new friend, you continue your way, not in complete darkness. Another vision right out of the tunnel. A slughead got surrounded by black lizards in the darkness and it had no way to escape anymore. You do not take the big open corridor, but the narrow path beneath. Although another black lizard already caught your scent and follows you. You walk through another vision, where a slughead was too slow and the black lizard caught it in a narrow path. But you are lucky for them to be far enough to not bring your friend and you in danger at this moment. You let go of your little buddy for a moment and eat a karma flower that was growing here. It calms your nerves, and with both hands you cuddle your new friend again to continue your way. It seems it does not calm it as much down as it does for you. Another black lizard is on your trail, but you both are quick on your feet, and black lizards are not known to be the fastest. You find a shelter, and you take your new buddy with you to hibernate. After hibernating, your friend blinks a bit when it wakes up and is again frightened by you. Maybe it thinks you just keep it as a snack, or maybe it witnessed you when you did what you did to its kin. Maybe it thinks you'll do it again and it is just another victim of yours. Out of the shelter, you backtrack a little bit, and with the light of your friend you can see a bit more. So you see some pathways you have not noticed before. And after a small round, you take the main corridor and run as fast as you can past all the drooling, glowing black lizards in the darkness waiting to ambush. You run and make it through unharmed. Climbing up the pole, you are back at where you met. And you continue down another tunnel, where you find yourself a bit lost. To eat a bit more of the slime mold to satiate your hunger, you need to let go of your little buddy, and it uses this chance to run and climb away from you. Well, now Milo finds himself alone in this darkness. You barely find the pole to climb up. Coming out, you see your buddy run past you into this tunnel, and you let them go this time. You decide to feed on some leftover slime mold some more. At least hunger is not your problem anymore. You continue. You were almost at the right tunnel, where even some badflies came out of, to your surprise. You notice some scavengers out behind you, and one holds a light source with one hand. It is time to take priorities, and you head in their direction. The scavenger with the light source is heading your direction as well, while he is distracted throwing his spear towards the observer. Wait, now there are two? Another cyan one? You cannot get distracted by it as the scavenger was, so you focus on your task to climb up the platforms again. But you just can't get over them. When another group of scavengers with light sources comes along and you decide to go for drastic measures. You wanted to jump over the platforms to get to the pearl at the end of them, but it would take too long and you need to find a light to continue on your way. And when you walk past a group of scavengers, one throws a rock at you. Now they've done it. You go, grab a spear, and this fight is on when you immediately get another rock in your face. Those scavengers are not the friendly traders that you got to know outside of this shady citadel. These fellows are picking a fight with you, a fight they can get. A vision shows you there are some other creatures in this darkness that prey on slugheads. You need to be careful. But for now, there is a tussle to be had with the scavengers. In the next room, you find the one with the light. And throw your spear, but they manage to parry it. So you grab another and go after them again. Now in this room, you have not been yet, and it is rather open, as you see some more lantern mice hanging around together. But they are not who you are looking for, even though they would give you light. You ascend a bit more and find a little way to take, but Scavenger can use some shortcuts that are not meant for you. So you find another way and see one of the light scavengers returned. You throw your spear. As you hit him in the leg, he drops his light and takes the spear, but now they know to stop their harassment, as you have shown to be in serious business. Equipped with a light source, you can now head further down and traverse paths untraveled, even armed with a spear. Heading down, you witness two revolting sights. While a lantern mouse gets taken in by a coalescence of critters, a vision opens up that shows that it can also happen to slugheads as well, when there are too many of the little creepy crawlies around. Better be careful where you step now, and with the bright light in hand it should not pose a problem. You notice the little bugs seem to avoid the light as well, but you still tread carefully. You find yourself at a spot that seems similar to another place you have been, but not quite the same. Considering your bad vision in this darkness, it might also just be that it all looks very similar. But your mind map shows you that you have not been here yet. That means uncharted territory and you need to watch out for dangers. Instead, you find a shelter. Good going, Milo, but how will you continue in this darkness? We will find out next time.